Okay, welcome to the August 6th meeting of the Goffstown Zoning Board of Adjustment. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice and justice for all.
Good evening, folks. The Goffstown Zoning Board is an elected board of 5 members and up to 5 alternates appointed by the zoning board. Currently, the board has 5 elected members and 0 alternates. We do have one of our regular members who's absent tonight. If anyone is interested in serving on the ZBA, please contact the Planning and Zoning Office at Town Hall for more information. The board has a posted agenda for each meeting and tends to follow the items in order. The board will open the public hearing on an application to receive testimony from applicants, abutters, and affected parties, and ask questions about the appeal. The public hearing will then be closed, and the board will enter a deliberative session to discuss the merits of the appeal. For each application, the board will decide to approve with conditions, deny, or continue the public hearing to a later meeting. You're welcome to watch the deliberations this evening, or you can call the zoning department at 603-497-8990, extension 815, tomorrow morning to get the results. For an applicant's request to be approved, there must be an affirmative vote of at least 3 members. An applicant can request a continuance if there is not a full 5-member board to act on an application. If you are aggrieved by a decision made by the ZBA tonight, you have the right to appeal to the New Hampshire Housing Appeals Board or to the Superior Court. However, before appealing, you must request a rehearing with this board to preserve your right to appeal. Rehearing requests must be filed within 30 days of the decision and state all reasons why the decision was unlawful or unreasonable. Failure to request a rehearing may forfeit your ability to appeal. I'll ask the board to introduce themselves, starting over in the corner with Jack, please.
Jack Shepherd, Building Inspector, Code Enforcement.
John Belleville, member.
Denise Langley, Vice Chair.
Leonard Stewart, Chairman.
Judy Elaine, member.
All right, let's move right into our first case. Well, let me not make the mistake I did the last time. May I have a motion for the minutes from the
I make
July
a
meeting?
motion to approve the minutes for the
Second.
July meeting.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now on to the first case.
I'll vote there's no regional impact.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, Ann St. Ange. Applicant owner is seeking a variance to build an addition to an existing single-family home that will be 3.7 feet from the property line, whereas a 15-foot setback is required per section 4.3, the table of dimensional regulations of the Goffstown zoning ordinance. The property is located at 5 Elmwood Avenue, map 13, lot 21, and it's zoned residential 2. You folks would come on up to the table and tell us what it is you want to do.
Hello, I'm Ann St. Ange. I am hoping to be able to add a room addition to the front of my home, to add a bedroom and a bathroom. Is
Is it actually the front of your home? Is this where you enter?
It is the front of my home. Would run, I gave the dimensions, I don't know if you got a copy
do.
of them.
So
that-
you would enter it at where it says exterior door?
Yes.
Above the deck? Okay.
We can't go behind my existing home because it sits right on the property line, and my home is situated very cozy with the abutters property lines. So when I had the builder come over and look to see what he recommended to be able to add the room, this was the direction he recommended that we do.
So your house sits back, in the back of your lot?
It sits in the back right-hand side, the corner.
So actually, if we flip the picture upside down, it should be on this side, right? That the boundary you're requesting is 3'7". It matches your house,
I believe it's the other.
right?
It's the other
Yeah.
side,
other
there's the
side.
fence line, which is the black,
Yeah.
the black line.
Here's your deck in the back, is that
The-
right?
That's the front.
Oh, I didn't
front
see
of
the
the
deck
house.
in the front.
That'll be the deck in the front.
Yes.
It will be, or it is?
It will be, that's part of the
Oh, it
plan.
will, this is a
It's-
will be.
That
Oh, I'm
is what
sorry,
we are,
yes.
that is
I
what
thought
we
it-
are. My
okay.
home as it is now is pretty much a block.
Got it.
All right?
Yes.
So we're hoping to build the addition by the measurements here and add a deck in the corner, which would, which would serve the door. I have 2 front doors on my property. Okay, so the one on the left, which would be near the deck addition, is existing into my living room.
Okay.
The addition in front that we're wanting to add is it would become an interior door.
Okay, that's also a front door.
But it is right now my kitchen door.
Okay.
And so that would be the door to go from the bedroom into the kitchen. And the bathroom addition that we're looking on adding is in proximity to the existing bathroom in the main body of the house. So the piping would come off of that.
So the addition you're proposing would have its own exterior, private exterior entrance, so there'd
Yes,
be
it would,
2 doors off that deck is what you're saying.
yes. And a window, we're not absolutely sure about the window, but right now we're looking at a window, 1, but we may add a second one. Excuse me.
Okay, and it appears from your drawing, you have plenty of room to the front of the house. It's
To
just
the left of the
It's
house.
just the one neighbor to the left that it's close to.
Yeah, it would be extending where the exterior wall of the existing home would. So it would just extend that into Scott's.
And you can't extend to the other side because there's these garages?
I have 2 sheds over
Sheds,
there.
Okay.
Yep.
And the propane tank.
Okay, so that's the reason you can't go that way.
Right.
But from what I'm seeing, it stays within the existing footprint of the house on the side, so 3.7 is the existing setback
Exactly.
on that side, and you're not further encroaching into it.
Correct.
Are these boundaries very accurate, or is this like a really old? What I'm questioning is to make sure it is the 3 feet 7 inches. It's not.
We
Measured visually looks it, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
I'm just wondering where the property line is for certain. Are there bounds? Do you have any boundaries on your property?
There's a fence between the 2 properties.
Okay.
Yeah, my lot is completely encased in chain link fencing.
Okay.
And you're adding bathroom?
Yes.
We're planning on
How
it.
many bathrooms are in the house?
One.
One, okay. So, is it sewage? Do you have sewage there?
I do.
Okay.
Public sewer and water.
Yeah.
No septic for us.
I know, right?
It will tie into the existing bathroom though.
Yep.
So looking at your application, there's just a couple of things that, I mean, you know, you have to meet a hardship. So, I mean, I can tell you what you've met and what you haven't met, but your hardship is obviously the house is so close to the property line. You know, maybe you can just kind of elaborate on why you're restricted to that point to add on to your house.
Well,
Just so we have that for the
we
record.
looked into adding up originally, but my home has a crawl space under it, and it's dirt, and the home now has a cinder block foundation. So when I spoke with 2 contractors, and they both sort of agreed that the structure, would not be the best choice to build up because of what that footprint, that first floor would be, right? And then we also looked into the left side, which was our second view of an option, because we had more land there, but there was a lot more complications to it. Is that my heating source in the home would have to be because I have a propane heater on the wall where they would have had to add the addition to. There is a huge slab of concrete that they would have had to manage to build on. The propane tanks, I have 2 propane tanks, they were in proximity of where the addition would be. And the line for the propane also ran along the whole wall of where the addition would be. And the foundation is very minimal on that side. It's probably, if you help on, it's very low because it's cinder block, so it's very low.
And also on the opposite side of the house where the sheds are, that comes off a flat roof, whereas the room is going to be connected with the A-frame of the house.
So it sounds like this was the only practical design that anyone could come up with that
This is
Got
what our
past those
contractor
problems.
recommends. As well as the fact that if we go on the side of the house, we're further away from the bathroom, so we can't tie in a second bathroom on that over there, because it's so...
without a whole lot of plumbing work.
Right, correct.
Okay, anything further from the members of the board? All right, I'll ask you folks to step back, and if there's anyone in the audience that would like to be heard for or against this proposal, come forward. Okay. Seeing no one who wishes to speak, I'm going to close the public hearing, and the board will enter into deliberations. Thoughts, considerations?
I don't have an issue with this.
No, me neither.
And the reason being is I think they did a really good job minimizing the size. They're maintaining the 3 feet 7 inches from the property line that's already existed. They're only going 12 feet. They're not asking for something crazy.
You only have 4 feet in the back, you know.
Right, they can't go in the back, it's only 4 feet. They're not encroaching that.
They're staying within the boundaries of the building.
I mean, I definitely isn't gonna be contrary to public interest. You know, the houses, back when they developed, they were close to the property lines. Still gonna have plenty of room in the front.
I'm
There's
just
plenty of room in the
I'm just wondering, just out loud, whether this is one of those houses that probably predated zoning. in
Well, I'm
that
sure
part
it
of
did,
town.
yeah.
Yes.
How many bedrooms are in the house now?
2.
I think making it a 3-bedroom is a reasonable request. Certainly not going to negatively affect any of the other properties in the area. If anything, it'll improve it, creating a larger house.
It's a bedroom for the grandson also.
Yes, and helping out a family in times of everyone's housing needs these days.
Yeah.
I'll entertain a motion if anybody would like to make one.
How about you, Judy?
Yes, I'll make a motion.
I thought you were working on it.
Yes. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the variance application for the home at 5 Elmwood Ave, and the variance would be for 3.7 feet from the side property line, whereas a 15-foot setback is required, but the existing house is already 3.7 feet from the side property line, and they're adding on to the front, so I approve.
Can you want, we should just add, we have to add.
Well,
the
yes,
variance.
okay. So the unnecessary hardship, if the ordinance is not enforced, is that it would be a huge expense to go out the side property, which could be unsurmountable for the resident to head that way, and also too that the family is trying to settle into the property with a son and a grandson, and that's the request for the enlargement. So, and also the granting the variance would do substantial justice, because it's getting a family to stay within Goffstown. There's no abutter here that has a problem with the request, you going forward on your own front yard, and you're still well over 50 feet, I think, from the street, if I read that right. Yep. Okay?
Correct.
Great.
I'll second that.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
You have your variance, folks. Thank you very much.
You. I'm so sorry.
Okay, moving on to our next case, and I'll try not to slaughter the name. Is it Wang? How do I properly pronounce that?
Yeah, that's correct.
Lang
Good
Wang.
job.
All right. Applicant owner is seeking a variance to allow for an accessory dwelling unit that is not attached to the existing single-family home. The variance is required per sections 5.2, 5.2.2, and 5.2.3 of the Goffstown zoning ordinance. The property is located 10 Trestle Lane, map 43, lot 27, and it's zoned residential 2. Please come on up and tell us about your project.
Hi, I'm Liang Wang. I bought this house 10 months ago. In this property, there are 2 units. So when I bought it, at the main one, there are 2 bedrooms and 1 bath. I'm in the States with the 2 kids. So I saw the second unit. I said, oh, I can renovate that so my parents can come. But when I bought this house, I want to do it, and they said you need permit for this one. So I go to the town office, and they said, oh, you need to go to the process to do it. Because the house only 2 bedrooms, a very small one, and with 1 bath. So I think I can renovate the other one to 1 bedroom.
Okay, you weren't advised by the seller that the second unit
They
hadn't
didn't
been
tell-
approved? for residential use then.
Yeah. I'm the third owner, so I didn't know anything about the second unit, so I thought I can't do that, so I bought this house. Yeah, I have 2 kids, 1 daughter, 1 son, so even 3 of us there sometimes it's, yeah, but still, my
I looked at the
parents,
property today, yes, and it is a very small property.
yeah, very, very small, so I'm thinking if I can have a small kitchenette, very small one, and then 1 bath, you know, that would be enough for me. I'm not asking for more. And the building's already there when I bought it, so I didn't build that, you know, so,
That's understood.
Is the
Yeah.
building, what's in the building right now, currently? What's in the building?
nothing.
Is
Even
nothing.
store, no, yeah,
So it's
nothing.
okay.
Can I just ask a question about the request from that Patty Road? It says the detached ADU will be on the other side of the private road. Can I ask what that
It
means?
is not.
It is not.
I looked
But it
at
says
it
that.
today.
Yeah, the other one's 5. I went across and I saw the number 5 for the property, so it's not on the other side of the road.
No.
Okay, yeah, it's the one that's right there,
Yeah,
house to house.
yeah,
It's
Yes.
the garage. It's the
Yeah.
It looked like it
It's
was
got the
gonna be a
door also?
garage. Yeah,
Used to be a garage.
it was gonna be a well,
That's,
it was a
not-
garage.
that's not even, that
Yes.
doesn't,
Yeah, that's it. Totally different.
So she took the wrong.
yeah, that's not the right,
It's not even the right picture.
Yes,
that's
it
not even
is.
the right
It's-
picture
No,
for that
no,
property.
it is, before he stoned it.
Yeah, before he stoned
Before
it.
he stoned,
Put the
see,
yellow roof on.
he stoned it
Okay,
after,
there it is.
so
So
you
we
have
don't
a
really need
before and
that.
an
So
after
it's not a
photo.
garage anymore.
No, it's
I think
not.
it's in the, I think it's
So
in
that threw me
I
off.
think he
I
started
caught
to
it.
convert it.
Okay, so this is where it
But it's
looks
not
now.
an ADU
Yeah.
unit,
Yes.
correct?
Okay.
Right now, it is an empty building.
Correct.
Yeah, and it has a, yeah,
There's a
John
is there a
has the
bathroom?
picture right now. of
no,
how it
nothing,
looks.
it's
I have
empty
it.
Oh,
inside.
okay.
So an ADU unit is when a kitchen is added, correct?
Correct.
Do you know, does this building have cooking facilities in it now, a stove or anything like that? So you'd be,
Nothing inside for now, even floor not finished yet. Yeah, but I can see outlets on the wall, so,
okay, so.
but I
you-
didn't do anything to that unit.
No,
It's just
and-
sheet rock and electrical,
Correct.
sorry.
Which that doesn't, that makes it okay. I mean, so having family there to sleep and have a bathroom is perfectly legal,
Yeah,
because that's not an ADU unit. As soon as you add a kitchen, now it's a living space. It can be rented out, it can, and that's where the regulations really are far more strict.
do we know what the square footage is?
That's what I was just gonna ask.
Yeah, I was just gonna go to
540,
the
something like that. It's on-
But
It's on the
for
property,
800.
it's on the property
500
card
and,
somewhere.
yeah, prop 500 and something.
Okay.
So it meets that.
Yeah, it meets that.
What it doesn't meet, it's not attached.
It looks 3/4 complete.
And,
Yes.
But it
Pretty
doesn't
close.
have a kitchen.
Doesn't.
yeah, I was going to say, in fact, if you look on the property card in your packet, there is a picture of it after the stonework, et cetera, was done.
Yes, okay.
I stopped them from putting the kitchen in about a year and a half ago.
It says right here, it's listed as residential, as a camp, at the top of the tax card, is that right?
That's the main house.
Oh, I thought that was, are you sure? No, the ranch,
The other
No,
one
no,
is
no, the ranch
residential.
is the original house right here, on
Yeah, but
10
there's a-
Trestle.
There's a second card here for 12 Trestle. If
Is
you
it
keep on-
No, I don't have, on 10 Trestle, on the card 2 of 2, it says it's a camp and residential already. And that it's drywall
I think that
And
just
electric.
continues first floor.
and 1 bedroom.
Oh, it does say 532 feet.
Right.
Is that on a separate lot?
No, the house is right to the right about separated by about, what, 15, 20 feet?
That's the main house.
Right, but
Back
this
there.
is saying, oh, this is,
What is, on this one, what is the arrow considering these two lots are together?
That's all one lot.
That is one lot with the road going between it?
Yeah, separate, divide. I think that's where Patty's confusion was.
There's no lot across the street. You don't own property across the street, right? No, I didn't think so.
Well,
Yeah.
according to the GIS,
Yeah,
that lot includes the property on the other side of the private road.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't,
No,
I don't know.
I know,
I don't know.
I tend to trust the GIS, but
Well,
I ran into that problem
do
also.
we have a GIS picture?
and we don't have Jason.
yeah, you got it, 8, 8, 10, 10.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 15.
So if it's listed under construction detailed and it's on the tax card as residential and camp, she doesn't need to be here because it's not an ADU,
Well,
residential. That's the
but it's-
location, right? Camp.
But the thing is, it's not a camp, it's not a residential, it is it was a garage that is now drywalled, insulated inside.
But it's not listed as a garage. You can't say it's a garage if it's not listed, right? I don't see anything saying it was a garage, so why she?
well, it also comes down to the question of you're putting a second unit on the same site. So, you know, regardless of the status of the building now, it still needs to be considered.
Yeah, this tax card is very confusing.
And are you looking
10 Trestle Lane, 10 Trestle Lane.
back up?
Card 1 of 2 is the first one.
Building number 2 on this one. Camp residential, very good, one-story. Style.
Huh,
It doesn't
interesting.
say garage.
Because it's empty now, I just want small kitchenette and
Yeah.
a 3/4 bath, that's it.
So, the original tax card for the house lists just one bathroom, right, and 2 bedrooms. So that's exactly what we have there. And the second house just says,
Ranch
That.
residential, average one-story. Yeah.
so when did ADUs come to
Well, the thing is,
Goffstown?
well, it's a state statute that ADUs are permitted by right.
Jack?
The real question is that for me,
Is it listed somewhere that it's an ADU and not a camp?
No.
Well, and I get what you're saying,
Yeah.
but where it was a garage, and
Yes.
this is saying,
We have a picture of a garage.
right,
Correct. Yeah.
I just don't understand why there's a second.
Is
the
there,
second
was there a previous permit for the work that he started on the conversion from garage to?
No, in fact, there was a stop work order on it, I gave him one, and Mark gave him one prior to this, and he never stopped.
Oh,
okay,
until the
that
bathroom.
was one
But
of,
he stopped by putting anything in there, I says, nothing goes in here.
Okay, yeah, right.
so, and we're trying to figure this out for you. I mean, so it seems to me
Yeah,
he
something
started,
bad.
the work was started without permit. And you went in and gave him a stop work, and apparently there was the intention of going,
It's a paperwork thing.
yeah.
So there's heat and electric in there, correct?
There's air conditioner there,
Okay.
but I'm
So
not, I
none of
don't know
that
it's
has
working
been
or not.
inspected?
Oh, he has a heat
None of
pump.
that has been inspected, it was done,
I inspect the electrical,
you did?
yes,
Okay.
So the heat pump is AC or heat,
right.
goes either way.
Correct.
You have heat and AC, that's what the heat
I
pump
never
is.
use it, I don't know.
Yeah, but you will
Okay.
use it eventually, so know
I tried
that.
to put a
Okay.
kitchen in,
So-
stopped.
That's what that word,
Gotcha.
heat pump means. Either or, AC or heat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this is a problem that I have, okay? It's an ADU unit. ADU units have to be attached. We tried, we went to the town, the voters voted. They do not want ADU units to be detached. That was very clear. Our job is to follow the zoning, and you have to meet a criteria. That's why you come to a zoning board. You know, people say, well, how can you bend the rules? Because there is a criteria for us to grant a variance. That's what needs to be proven to us. And it's, when you purchased it, it was not an ADU unit. It was a building that was finished. I understand you did not realize that was not legal, but it wasn't a ADU unit. It didn't have a kitchen in it. It just has, does it even have a bathroom?
No.
Okay. So there's no plumbing in it. So
Oh,
To
plumbing is in.
the rough plumbing's in?
Yes.
Okay. To take that from basically a small little apartment is the issue in my eyes. Okay, only one person. If you wanted to do something so your parents can come over and they didn't need a kitchen, then that would be a different story. Then it's not an ADU unit and I wouldn't have an issue with it. The kitchen is
The bathroom is okay.
yes.
Bathroom, but
Bathroom.
kitchen,
You can have a pool house with a bathroom, but you can't have it with a kitchen and a bedroom and a bathroom. That's just the definition of it.
kitchen means you cannot have stove, right?
Correct.
So,
You can have a microwave or something like that, but you can't have a stove.
The thing, though, that I am troubled by is that we have, and I can't give a specific citation, there have been over the last year or two, there have been a couple of other instances where we have granted detached ADUs in similar situations, so
And you're right, we have, and typically it's because in my eyes, their hardship was they had no other place to add it. This was added already
So you can
without the code.
easily connect this to your other house just by correct me if I'm wrong, a closed-in walkway. You just need door to door. It says you need a door here and a door there.
It's built,
I
To
don't
rectify
think
this-
that's physically possible.
no,
given
it
this
drops
sort of a-
down.
It is. I was there. It's
Yeah.
doable, absolutely. The
connect
construction.
two doors.
Yep, a house from the potential apartment, connect in a big kind of hallway, walking way to the main house, from there to there. And the doors are actually not,
Yeah, I do have two doors for the second.
yeah, you
I
just
can
have to be
connect
connected. They're stating about this, the connection is the big deal now. They want things connected. So, yep, that would be that last picture. It's hard finding these pictures. Here it is. Right there.
So I can build outside a tunnel, something.
Yeah, like that door to the other door.
Yeah, it's,
Just with the shaft.
A breezeway, yeah.
That's it.
A breezeway,
Right.
yeah,
Oh,
yes. So it's not like the end of, it's not like the end, what we're talking about. Is it, right? Correct me if I'm
so
wrong.
this ADU unit is strictly for your mom.
yeah, for my home,
For
my
home.
member, home member. Yeah, not for anybody else.
See, the problem is you're asking us to grant this, and in the future, somebody else is gonna buy the property. And they're gonna say, oh, we have an ADU unit, we wanna rent it.
I want document on this property, and then when I sell the house, I let the other person know. I disclose in my sales, and also document on this, on history in town center. I promise.
Documented what?
Here, you guys can document, and also I will.
Oh.
Yeah, also I will disclose this information to my next owner, for sure. I will let you know, for sure. Yeah.
So does she have to come back for another variance now that she knows it needs to be connected? If she chooses to follow that
I
path?
don't think they're gonna be able to connect it. I don't think it's, the cost to do it is feasible.
Oh, it's breezeway,
How many feet is it?
breezeway.
Very short, not very long.
About 18 feet.
Maybe, yeah.
And is it something that they can do something
Yeah.
flat?
Elevation wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a set of stairs right there that goes down.
The roof on it, that'd be a tough one. You have to drive by it.
I would say that if she could get a diagram or get somebody who can make her a building plot to show us, to come back and then ask for the variance, and I believe that could work.
Yeah, because she meets the size.
This is only 18
An existing
feet.
building.
Just
It's
about,
only 18 feet from building to building.
Not even.
Let me first ask the board, before we get into deliberating this, I did see a hand up back in the audience to speak on this. Ms. Long, if you'd like to step back, I'll ask the person in the audience who wishes to speak on it to come on up and talk to us about it, and then we can enter into deliberations after we've heard everything that needs to be done. Please identify yourself for the record and spell
Sure.
your name, sir.
My name's Michael McGrath, McGrath, and I live at 8 Trestle Lane. I live right next to Lily. And as an abutter, I have a quick question, and then I might, depending on what the answer is, I'll say something. But I think as a condition of granting the variance, you can include that the ADU has to be owner occupied, correct?
The building has to be, the ADU unit does not have to be owner occupied, but the property does. That's in our zone.
Right, but I think you guys have the power to say, okay, we can grant the variance on the condition that the ADU itself is owner occupied, right?
no.
Yeah,
That's
Jack,
not
you
allowed?
can correct us on it, but I don't believe state law allows us to set that kind of condition. That was,
The owner has to be
Originally-
on the property, not necessarily in the ADU unit. And in this case, she wouldn't be. She would be
Right.
in the main house, so.
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
there was originally, when the law first went in, conditions about family members occupying, et cetera, but those have been taken out of state law now, so we're no longer permitted to do that.
Okay. All right, that was my real question. Otherwise, I'd be very much in favor, because I know the statute says that it's, it's either or, right? The building or the ADU has to be owner occupied, it has to be on the property. But I was under the impression that you could, as a condition of the variance, to allow an ADU, you could require it to be owner occupied. If I'm incorrect on that, then.
On my best recollection, I don't believe we can do that. I could be wrong, but it'd take legal research.
And I don't think
to
she'd agree to
establish
that with 2 children to live in a 500 square foot ADU unit, even if we could.
Okay.
Well, they don't have to be inside it, right? They just can't rent it out.
Okay, so what you're asking is, does the owner has to be living on the property?
Correct.
That is in the zoning. So if we were to grant a variance, that's an automatic. We don't have to stipulate that. That is part of owning an ADU unit. You have to own the property. They did not just change that, did they, Chuck?
No.
Everybody's making sure.
Right, you have to, The granting of the ADU requires that either the ADU or the home is owner occupied.
Correct,
It's either or,
yes.
Correct.
right? And I guess what I was wondering is if, given that you're asking for a variance for the ADU, whether a condition could be that the ADU be owner occupied, meaning it doesn't get rented out.
Well, again, I think what you're basically looking for is that eventually, if the property changes hands, that it couldn't be rented out.
That ADU couldn't be
And
rented
that
out.
is something that is a ZBA we can't control.
Okay.
You know, you're looking down the road. If
Yes.
this one
I
wants
don't,
to have her mom there and
it's fine.
all
Right,
that,
right.
All fine,
that'll be fine, but
right,
if you're looking 10, 15, 20 years out.
right, because
that's
that sort of
something
little
beyond zoning control.
tiny rental would not be conducive to,
Understood, and we understand your concerns.
all right. Well, that's too bad, otherwise I'd speak in favor of, I try to make a case on the statute for the ADU, but
Okay.
if you guys can't do that.
I think the parking lot's across the street. You said there's more property on the
Yeah,
map.
have you lived in that area for a while, Mr. McGrath?
Since 2018.
My understanding is, and that the lots in that area, some of those lots, you have property on both sides of that private dirt road.
The dirt road is just an easement,
Okay.
So there's two.
so the lot goes all the way up to Upland.
So it's
She has a lot
likely then,
across
so
the street.
this one
Right.
has property then on the other side of
Correct.
that, as it appears that all the lots in that area do.
They are. The problem is you get the Shoreline Protection Act.
And all, yes,
Sort of
and all the
limits-
state
limits some of
wetlands
that, yeah.
regulations.
So,
Plus, in this instance, and I believe it's noted on our file, we also have the power line easement going over the top of that property that we'd have to. be
yeah, I guess
cognizant of.
I don't know what that, I don't know what the impact of that is, but.
Just that you probably gotta go to Eversource and clear it with Eversource.
Okay.
That's fine.
Good luck.
Yeah. Okay. All right, thank you.
You're very-
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome, sir. Anyone else in the audience? Ms. Wong, you have anything else you'd like to add? If not, I'm gonna close the hearing and the board will.
Can I ask you a
deliberate.
question?
Oh, please,
Can I, do you mind?
come on up again. Denise has a question.
I'm sorry, but once we close it, we can't talk, so.
Oh, okay.
Is it critical that you have a kitchen?
Yeah, because my mom eats so differently with my kids. My kids was born here. They eat more Eastern-wise food. My mom cook like a Chinese food. It's so big, different. So my mom need hot food. So,
So she.
but I cannot let my mom stay in two-bedroom, right? I have small.
No, and I
But, yeah.
understand that.
So my mom stay there, but you know the old parents, they always cook, you know, hot food.
Listen, I'm trying to grasp here
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah,
I
I know,
am.
I know.
Does she cook in a wok, with a wok? Is it something she could use, an electric wok? That would be a full-blown kitchen.
If there's a stove, only one, that would be enough. I don't need big fancy stove. Just, there's one, that would be enough. Just
Take out
one.
the big book now.
I don't know if I understand you correctly.
Oh, they have,
I don't need gas. I just need electric, just like once. Yeah.
Jack, you want to help me with that?
Yeah.
The definition of a kitchen is?
Yep.
Is that kitchenaire?
Definition of a kitchen? Oh,
If I can install,
looking in the RSA's as we speak.
Well, I skipped the
And
K,
only-
so that's not helping me.
and only me with my two kids, I also want to eat my parents' food. So I'm, I hope she can help me. So with cooking, eat together.
I can only tell you, from personal experience in trying to get an ADU in a house that I used to own, I ran into the same problem with kitchens, and I didn't end up getting the ADU, so I know I'm sympathetic to your problem. We're trying to find some definitions.
Are we allowed to talk just to kind of help her understand the process? Because we had added an ADU 4 years ago onto our house. And I think the biggest issue, and correct me if I'm wrong,
Should
is
she
that
come
they're-
up?
Yeah, could you just come up
Please.
and identify yourself for the record, and then
Hi,
your
I'm Holly Rodriguez. We live at 79 Lewis Street, and 4 years ago, we added an in-law to our house. And I think the biggest issue we're having here is that the buildings are detached.
exactly.
They need to be connected in order to put a full kitchen into that unit. If you keep them detached, and they're two standing alone buildings, your ADU unit can have like a hot plate, it sounds like, or something.
Or possibly even a small, one of those 2-burner apartment size
Right.
stoves, something like,
Anything built in, I would say no.
So if you can find a way
Sorry.
to make it look like one building, then you can have a kitchen in it.
Okay, that's, I can do a brief.
Yes, you build a hallway
a
between the
breezeway.
two.
Yep.
A mud room where everyone goes in, you hang up your jackets, put your shoes in it, and your mom goes
Exactly
to
what
her
she
unit,
said.
and you guys
Yep.
go to your unit. But you have this common mud room.
And there'd be an advantage, because then your mother could go and visit the kids without going outside in the
Correct.
winter.
Especially in bad weather, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the proper step
can-
So
downs.
I have to build something
Yeah,
outside.
can I see my phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
What would you look under for kitchen?
I don't know, they don't have a K.
Home,
They don't have a K.
residential,
Don't have a kid.
They don't have a K!
No, they don't.
building.
So I
I looked into
go,
cooking, I didn't see
Oh,
anything.
not a quick,
I don't have a-
So she could have a bathroom, she could have everything except the stove
yeah,
and the refrigerator.
Yep.
You cannot have a kitchen.
So
Right.
that means no refrigerator.
No, you can have a refrigerator.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
have that in
So
a
I'll
den.
put it in the microwave and she'd
it
still
all
be
comes
good.
down to
We're
the
connected
word
here.
sto-
But it's
Well, it
a
comes out of
window.
I think
No,
Yeah,
cooking
there's a window, door.
facilities is the way it's,
cooking
And then we're
facility.
connected.
And it's a slippery slope, and it's, you know.
Because we couldn't have them
I'm not
stand
seeing-
alone, that they had to be one.
I mean,
And I think the rule in the book is that there is only one front exterior door to access both units. I think it says in your write-up. So that's why we have the one mudroom, and then the interior door
You
is
have to
split
be able to access the ADU unit from the main
from the
house.
inside.
That's what the zoning
it doesn't even
states.
have to be closed in.
No, but, what do you mean, it doesn't have to be closed in?
It doesn't have to be closed in, it can just be a roof to go
Yeah.
over the
Yeah.
walkway.
covered walkway.
Really?
Yes,
What did you say?
that's that gray area.
Cooking.
That's a gray area, well, that would be less money. That's a strange gray area.
Because
I
then you
like
don't
that.
have to deal with,
No.
because then there's fire codes. Once you get
She
into
could
this and it's all
connect there and
enclosed,
walk right out
then you
to
need
bang on
fire
the left.
doors that swing and,
Mhm, the whole.
She's been through this.
yes, we did this 4 years ago. We sat here and did this.
Okay, here we go.
I'm sure you had fond memories.
We sure do,
Or
so much
not.
so that we came back for more.
All right.
So I can have a cover
She'd have to come
Yeah.
connect to
So-
beauty.
She'll have to come back.
back. Yeah, I think so.
I don't need window and the door. Can I do that? Because my unit not
Does she need
like
to
a
come
very
back?
parallel.
Would that
plan.
something, is that something, Jack, we could make a condition of the approval?
Yeah, yes, we can. And as far as if it meets building code and connectability,
We're not gonna be able to see it though, the visual.
Well, subject to inspection and
subject to
approval by.
inspection. And it would be in the folder.
Yeah. I would think that would be possibly a way to.
Is she gonna have a problem building, because it's close to the wetlands?
No, it's just putting a roof from point.
Well, I know, but now that's creating
What's your distance from
Impervious.
the river to your
Impervious,
house?
yes.
Is that
So-
gonna be an
Not
issue?
far, but mine is not
She-
next
she
to each
might have to
other,
get a
easy
shoreline
to
permit
connect.
to
No,
go.
I'm
No.
kind of,
The
yeah,
main
I
That's
house?
an
can
issue.
do that part.
What would the length be from the water to your main home?
Water,
The water,
From
the
the
river,
waterfront.
the waterfront?
very front.
What, how far is it to your main house from the river?
I don't know, did you see that?
Yeah, I don't think it's 100 feet if I remember right.
No.
Looks to be less than that.
Yeah, 50-ish, 75 maybe at the most. Okay.
Between the two buildings is like 18 feet. It's not that much of a connection point. but the
Problem
elevation-
is that
The elevation.
Yeah.
that's
so it
impervious and you're on water.
goes- Yeah. Oh,
That means she could possibly have to go to the state.
yeah. Sure.
Well, would you need to
I know
add
about that.
impervious if you're adding a covered walk?
Yeah,
Does it
because you're
cover-
creating
More impervious.
impervious, yeah.
It does count as impervious.
Yeah.
So we need to determine
I
if
think we
she,
can close.
if she
close
goes
the
to
public hearing.
DES.
Unless there's anything else anyone would like to say, I'd like to close the public hearing so that.
I have a question. So,
Go ahead.
so if I don't connect them, but I can have a bathroom, bedroom, except the kitchen, but I can use buy the electrical things, cook, that's fine,
plate.
right?
Hot-
as long as
hot
it's built
plate,
in.
electric
Yeah.
wok,
Yeah, yeah.
anything, it
But you
comes
still
down
can
to the
have
point of
pets.
if you can't have a built-in stove, is
Correct.
what it really boils down to.
Okay. As long as not built in, that will be fine, right? So you still have pan, can cook
Correct,
something.
correct.
Okay, so if I don't do the connection. So if I do connection, I can have because
Then you
mine
can have
is
a
not
full
like her.
stove and oven.
Yeah, I can put stove and oven. And then can I just have a shelf connect to buildings?
Well,
No door,
you-
no windows?
You can, apparently you can,
Uh-huh.
but I foresee an issue because you're close to the water. And the state has shoreline protection laws, and you'd have to get a permit through the state.
If you're closer than 100 feet from the water,
Build something.
right. If you're closer than 100 feet to the water, they won't let you do anything without the state saying you can. Environmental services, right? Yeah, state. That's just another permit.
But if I don't do anything, can I put shelf, connect them? Maybe just a pole between them?
Yeah, no.
No, then you're just doing another zoning violation.
Yeah, that's another violation, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's no way she got 100 feet there. No way she
All
got
right.
that.
Any further questions before we start? to
Okay, so that means-
Deliberate the public, because the public hearing is still open.
Okay,
at
okay,
this
gotcha.
point.
So I just want to confirm, so I can have a bathroom?
Yes.
And then like one bedroom, but
Yes.
without kitchen? one
Correct.
bedroom. Okay, that will be fine. I can connect to the public sewer.
I don't see why you couldn't.
There is public sewer in that area.
I can just connect, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Is
So
there-
you're changing your variance request from an ADU unit to, what would that be called?
Okay.
Residential camp.
Or a
Sleeping
sleeping quarters
quarters
with a bathroom?
with a bathroom.
Okay, one bedroom without kitchen.
Without a kitchen.
Yep.
And without a kitchen, it wouldn't be counted as a second dwelling unit
No,
on the same property.
no.
Especially where it's existing. If it wasn't existing, I'd have an issue, but it is existing,
Yeah.
so.
The plumbing's there, everything's already,
How's it heated?
I
There's a
think,
split.
It has a heat
Sorry,
pump.
I was looking up your property. I
John,
love this stuff.
It has
so.
a heat pump.
yeah.
Oh, I got a victim!
What?
Yeah, I can heat, right? I can propane.
No,
A
that
heat pump.
thing that is up on your ceiling, right? It's a big white box.
Uh-huh.
That's heating and cooling
Yeah,
already.
but that's very expensive to use electricity.
It's electricity,
Yeah, so
yeah.
can I use propane?
That's gonna be between you and the building inspector.
Oh, that's better.
Not us.
Okay, Okay, as long as it's allowed.
Okay.
I don't want to violate anything.
Okay, we haven't approved it yet,
Oh,
because we have to close, go ahead.
All right.
She's like, oh, man.
I'm gonna go ahead and close the public hearing now, and the board will go ahead and deliberate on this issue and
So
see if we
Jack,
can come up with a resolution.
I have a
Jack.
question for Jack.
Yes.
If she's not doing an ADU unit, does she need a variance? And if so, what is it?
Conversion of a garage into sleeping quarters. That's about it.
So that's not a variance.
No, it's not a variance. She doesn't need a variance.
Okay. And in the future, if it's inspected and there's a kitchen, what happens?
I have them take the kitchen out. We have one very similar to that. I went to Derek with it, and it was, the kitchen is very vague, definite in the code. It's very vague. He had a refrigerator, he had a kitchen countertop, kitchen everything, no stove. But to me, it was a kitchen of my definition of interpreting the code, but in essence, it wasn't. So, because he could still gain access through the common area to get to the kitchen in the other room. So, that was passed. So, it was just a sleeper's addition, considered an addition.
But it was an attached?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can have a refrigerator there. Everything. Just no stove.
So I would just like it in the file, because we're not gonna do a variance.
Right.
There's nothing for us to do.
No.
But that it was presented to us, and she left stating that she would have no kitchen. Because I don't want 10 years from now, somebody coming in, bought the property and says there's a kitchen, and now they want an ADU unit.
Right.
Because we're not gonna allow it, it won't be a hardship. I want it, made sure it's in the file.
Okay.
Hopefully I will be on this board.
Oh, yes, you will.
I'll be horizontal, don't worry.
Okay. So it seems like we don't have to do anything.
She gets a reason.
Not really, because we really helped her up.
No, she
No.
applied and didn't need one.
Well, she did need one for what she wanted,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would,
yeah.
so how do we state this clearly, that,
The applicant has decided to,
change her request from an ADU, that she will not be installing a kitchen/cooking facilities, so therefore it only amounts to a conversion of
A
a
garage.
garage
To living
into
space.
sleeping quarters with a bathroom, which only requires building permits, inspection by the town, etc., but does not require a variance from the board.
well done.
Clear enough for everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, just so we have that in the record. You're all set. You can proceed. You're going to bring your
Talk to
mom.
Jack.
Yeah.
She'll
just-
have a place to sleep. You can
Cook somewhere
you can
outside.
provide her with a small
So
refrigerator
just come in and
for
pull
her
a building
drinks.
permit.
Just can't give her a kitchen.
Just come in, pull the building permit, and
Excuse me.
I'll help you walk through it.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for,
I can cook outside.
You certainly can.
thank you for coming in, and thank you for trying to do
I
everything
think
the
it has a
right
little
way, the
covered
right
area.
way.
Yeah, I cook on my grill year round.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, that was not fun.
No,
And moving on to the last case
It
of
wasn't
the night, I
fun.
believe we have one of our principals already up here at the microphone. Let me get on to it. The Dupuy Family Trust and Gail Dupuy, applicant's owners, are seeking a variance to allow for a 24-foot round above-ground pool and attached 14-foot by 16-foot deck. The variance is required because the construction of the pool and attached deck will result in a total building coverage on the lot of 28.1%, whereas the maximum allowed is 25% per section 4.3, the table of dimensional regulations of the Goffstown zoning ordinance. The property is located at 79 Louis Street, map 17, lot 212, and it's zoned residential 2. Please identify yourselves for the record and tell us more about what you want to do.
My name is Gail Dupree. And I'm Holly Rodriguez. And we have kids who have outgrown their swing set, so we've removed the swing set, and we would like to put a pool in where that swing set was. We have this great backyard and we don't use it because it's just way too hot back there. And so we're just looking to add to the backyard.
You could. Ask me.
If I could ask a question, when I was there, is there to your neighbor's fence where you want to put your pool?
It's 10 feet from the fence.
10 feet
From the
your
back and the side.
neighbor and your
And
side
the
neighbor?
side.
Are your on the other side of the street where your back neighbor is, there's many pools?
Yes.
Okay, there's many pools. You have a neighbor a direct neighbor that has a pool and so forth. So they're 10 feet from your back. The side neighbor is 10 feet from your back, okay? And the other neighbor on the other side, there was no pool, correct? No, okay.
The one to the right of us, they have one of those.
No, the one to the left of you, there
No,
was
there's
no
no
pool
pool
in
there.
that part of the yard.
No. The ones to the right of us have a,
And the
Pool in
deck's
the
gonna
box.
be further away than 10 feet. It's gonna be more like maybe 14, 13 feet,
maybe we have,
something.
yeah, we're gonna, and that's the biggest it'll be. Like, so if we were to change the dimensions but still kept the same square footage of the deck, that would be fine, right? If we needed to make it like a 12 by 18 instead of a 14 by 16, you know, as long as we're in that square footage, that's,
As long
As long as you meet setbacks.
as you.
yes, that's what I mean. So like, we might have to reduce the width to meet the setback.
Yeah.
So the other question is, your neighbor's pool to the right of you, is that 10 feet from the property line?
The neighbor's pool to the right of us, so you're talking like 82 Lewis Street, is that what the,
If you face your house.
to the right of us? So their pool is, the pool's in a box, and they only set it up in the summer and take it down. It's the ones that like, you blow up
Yeah.
the top of it, and as it
Yeah.
fills, it rises.
Yeah, so it's set up, but is it closer to 10 feet?
No idea.
You don't know.
No.
Jack, I have a question for you.
Yes,
Decking
yep.
isn't solid,
You can have a floating deck.
but it's not a solid, so water goes through it onto the ground.
Correct.
So what is tell me the reason for the coverage on the lot? What's the purpose of it?
The reason for the coverage of the lot is square footage. As, how can I explain this? Okay. Coverage of the square footage of the percentage of the lot that's being used, completely used and covered from, if you're looking straight down on it. So even if it's a floating deck or it's a permanent deck.
So, I'm just trying to understand
Yep.
this. Is pavement considered usable space?
Yes. No, pavement's not.
Huh.
You can have a patio, you can have, that's not considered,
Huh,
you know, but
Interesting.
as far as, you can have a patio with a.
you could do the whole lot
You can
as
do
a
a whole
patio.
log patio and that's not considered coverage.
I thought I was told the driveway was when I came.
Driveway is,
Okay.
yes, because that's part of your permitting,
Okay.
you know, but not a patio, hardscape. Hardscape's not.
Put a note on that when we talk about.
Okay.
Huh, that's interesting. Because it's usable space.
Yeah.
that water cannot go through, which causes runoff. On this, you have a deck that's gonna have space that the rain goes through, and the runoff's gonna be no different,
Yep.
whether that decking is there or not.
Right.
Does the pool cover the in the 25%? The pool
Yes.
itself?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what's killing her, is the pool, not the deck, right?
Yes, not so much the deck, it's the pool.
The pool put us, so I talked to somebody like a
Derek.
month ago. Yes. The pool itself brought us over 1%.
Yep,
Now the decking brings us over another
3%.
2%.
Yep.
And of course, they were like, oh, my husband's like, well, why don't we just get a smaller pool? I was like, no, I want to put back there what I want to put back there. I'm gonna go.
The kids are gonna grow.
Sit through the process.
Well, and I understand the need for a deck,
Yes.
because you need to be able to sit up there to watch.
To watch them.
I mean,
They need
that's
a
a
place to
safety
jump off
issue.
of.
The size of a deck,
24 feet?
That's the pool.
That's the
14
pool.
by 16,
14 by
so
16.
not crazy.
And I don't have sufficient math skills to do the computation, but if you reduced the diameter of the pool, say 18 or 20 feet, whether that would bring the square footage down sufficiently to get it to,
25%.
And it very well might. It just, when you look at the size of what an 18-foot pool looks like, it's not big enough for our family and entertaining.
Yeah.
If the deck was like a 12 by 14.
So they're here for two reasons. The variance would be for the side property setback, side yard and backyard property setbacks.
I think she needs
No, I'm within
She
the
needs all
setback.
that.
Oh, you are,
So
okay.
it's strictly the coverage.
Just the percentage of
Yeah.
coverage, okay.
Yep.
It says 10 feet on the diagram we were given.
That was to show that I was within the setback.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be 15, is that right?
I don't know,
No.
Not in this
Not-
zone.
No.
Not in R2? Okay.
Can double check
somewhere,
that.
if it's an accessory structure and it's under 600 square feet, it doesn't have to have a full setback.
Ah,
Just like a shed. Our shed's 10 feet from the fence, or from the property line, and so the pool's the same.
And if you look at the surveyor drawing, then your last is noted.
yeah.
Three 3.1%.
What's 3.1%?
That's what they're asking for.
3.1%, yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. That's what they're over.
Okay.
With that deck size.
Yep.
The deck was smaller, they'd lose a little there too.
And it very well could be. When I
Yeah.
submitted the paperwork, I wasn't, we don't know how big of a deck, and I was told, put one in bigger than you think you're gonna want, and that is the biggest I'd wanna put back there.
Okay, let's do the math, people. 16 by 16, would that drop her down?
No, no, she's at 224.
She's gonna go over no matter what,
She's
because the
224
pool's
right
pushing her
now.
over. But what percent are we looking at that point?
Town phone stinks.
12 by 14.
A 12 by 14 would give her
Yep.
how many feet?
168 square feet.
Putting her over by how much?
1.2%.
1.2?
12 by,
12 by 14 puts over 1.2.
would you be opposed to that? A 12 by 14 foot deck?
I mean, I'd like to just price it out and see. I'd like to get the largest that I can get back there, no bigger than 14 by 16. Ideally, we're trying to, put seating, maybe a couch, enough where the kids can jump and I'm not getting splashed all the time. And it's an entertainment space. And we're choosing not to,
Well, apparently you
Attach
could
it
put a
to-
patio at the bottom.
there is one.
Oh.
Now that I know that it doesn't count against me. My husband and I laid one, 3-4 years ago, and there's one there.
Safe to admit it.
So we would come off the back deck, because the back deck is covered and we considered connecting the two, but then we'd need a special exception, because then we definitely wouldn't be part of the setback. I've read through this stuff like a fine tooth comb.
We'll be talking after this meeting.
I don't want to participate in any of this outside of here.
You probably should have said that before we deliberated. After we deliberated.
Because we had considered coming out off the back deck, but then we'd have to come up 28 inches to get on the big deck, and then we'd connect, and then we'd have to pull up the patio in order to lay the decking down. So we're just gonna come off the back deck, step down, cross the patio, and come back up. Ideally.
Take back to 3.1.
I can show you a better picture of the backyard of where exactly this is.
And that was me the other day at the door,
I know.
talking to somebody. Well, I'm at work now. I'm like, well, they're talking to me,
No, I was
but
at
you're at
this,
work.
so because we don't have our own pool, we have to use the town pool, and so that's where we were.
Yeah.
What is she asking for now, 3%?
Yep, 3.1%.
3.1.
And it's a local company installing the pool, Empire.
Oh, that's great.
It's convenient.
I don't have any other questions.
Shooting anymore?
No.
Your grandkids might benefit from this pool because we don't have this. I graduated high school with your daughter.
Okay.
Yes, that's Melissa's dad.
My daughter
Yeah.
lives on the other end of Louis
Yes,
Street.
she does.
Yes. Okay, you got me there.
Bradley dad. Yeah, Bradley. He's a sweetie.
That's funny.
Jack, what were those numbers again? If you brought the deck down in size, we would get down to
1.5?
1.5%.
I mean, I think some reasonable or reduction in size. The problem that I have with this is that there's no really well demonstrated hardship, which is one of the criteria for a variance. I know you'd like to have what you would like to have, but we're also charged with having to interpret the zoning law according to what's written. So, if we can come to something reasonable as far as, I have less problems with, say, 1% than I do with 3 or 4% over, so.
What's the length and width on the 1.5%?
12 by 14.
12 by 14.
And the other one?
14 by
14,
16.
14 by 16. 56 square feet different.
Well,
Have you mapped out your
let-
12 by, sorry.
do we have, first let's ask, before we start actually deliberating, if anyone has more questions for the applicants, let's ask them now so that we can close it and then start the actual deliberation.
Have you mapped out 2 different dimensions for your deck?
Nope. I was just told go bigger than you think you need, or bigger, as big as you would want. So I put 14 by, because we also don't want to take up our entire yard.
So it sounds like you could be flexible, of course.
Yeah, I just don't want it to feel like we're all sitting on top of each other. narrow. I'm concerned that it's gonna be too narrow.
So if you picture a large room in
And
your
check, I
house, you
think
could
what mine
compare it
was.
to your deck.
It's a little, it was longer, but it was shallow. Like that I remember. Are we closing? Is it public hearing closed?
I have no more
All right, if
questions.
no one has any further questions for the applicant.
No.
Okay, you can sit on back. We will now actually deliberate. Thank you very much. The public hearing is now closed, so what does everyone think?
I think we should consider the size change offering for to compensate and work with the residents on the adjustments.
I would lean in that direction. I'll
The people in the back.
try to reach a reasonable accommodation.
People in the back of them have a pool with a deck.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Oh,
looking at that. I wonder what their lot coverage is.
I've,
It wasn't quite as long, I didn't think.
there's quite a few pools. I actually did, I think it was Google or Bing Maps of the area, and
Yeah.
there's a pool practically in every backyard on the back street there as well, so, yeah.
Jeff,
Pools are common in the
What's the lot
area.
coverage on 94.8? Do you know that? Would that be on the, something to get your hand on? It doesn't have a pool, but it doesn't look.
94 what?
8.
198 right behind them?
Yeah, right on the side of it.
One?
Oh, right on the side of them.
Right.
They don't
It's a
have,
narrow lot. They don't have a pool, but I'm curious what their coverage is.
I don't know the size of the house
Oh, okay.
or the shed.
But if you look,
Yeah, they've got more.
they look relatively close.
The lot
I mean,
coverage?
The 10-foot areas
Oh, they're
Yeah.
within, they're
from the
within like,
boundary
they're
lines.
probably within 3 feet.
But it's the lot coverage, so what
The
percentage
percentage
Yeah.
of
Right.
their
I
lot?
got it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So these guys are 120 by 90.
It's like a 4,700 square foot lot. That one is.
So, an above-ground pool is not a permanent pool. It's not an in-ground,
Correct.
and that still falls into the same criteria of lot coverage, even though it's not a permanent building.
Yes.
How fast can you do the math if we did a, what did you say, 12 by 14?
12 by 14.
Could you do the math on a 14 by 14? Please, and give me what percentage?
I'm glad we have someone who's good at
I know.
math here.
Be about 2%.
And right now they're at 3.5?
3.1.
3.1.
That's in the middle.
Be just over 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
2.2.
I'm gonna be prone to stay with the 12 by 14
Me too.
now.
Looking at the decks in the other.
And the only reason I'd even consider it, because granting the hardship, I understand that. It is not none of this property, none of this coverage has anything to do with water. And in my view, a lot of lot coverage is you don't want all this impervious structures creating all the runoff going off a residential lot.
Correct.
So the pool is gonna hold its own water.
Yep.
Usually have to add water to a pool. Very rarely do they overflow. And the deck I would stipulate can't be solid. It has to have, which
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be, or it's gonna be a maintenance nightmare. But, I'm prone to go that way, personally. We're cutting it down quite a bit, but something that's still usable, reasonable.
I'll second that. I'm up, same thing. 12 by
I didn't
14.
motion,
No,
I just
know that.
said
I'm
my
just- I'm
feeling
just-
on
I'm
it.
just- I know you didn't motion. But 12 by 14 deck on the side of the 24-foot pool, just like that. On a 24-foot pool. Round pool,
It's, yeah,
it's a round pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a,
it's usable space.
Oh, yeah.
You got 2 kids, so grandmother, and that's
Husband.
4 or 5 people.
if you look at the pools in the backyard, the decks on the side of those pools are not that large in scale wise compared to that. If you look at that one,
Right,
that
but
one, those
what
are-
about the size of the pool, the same?
Yeah, the pool would be, yeah. You look,
You think, what are your thoughts? You leaning for small?
yep, what we talked about is the 12 by 14.
I think it's a reasonable request if we're not asking to reduce the size of the pool.
That,
You know, cutting the deck down to the point where we've got a reasonable figure is, I think, the most reasonable way to go on it.
then we're at 1.2, which is
A frac-
working both ways.
Mhm.
Yeah, got it.
Judy?
Judy,
Also,
John,
And
I'll entertain a motion if
Okay.
anybody's ready to make
I
a
might need a
motion.
minute to do this one, but I will do my best.
All right,
I motion that we approve the variance with some changes in the request, because she was asking for a 12 by 16 foot deck. I motion that, what was it, 14 by 16?
Yeah, 14
Okay,
by
sorry,
16.
14 by 16 deck. We would shrink down to a 12 by 14 deck, making the lot coverage over by 1.2% versus a 3.1 originally requested. Granting this variance would not be contrary to the public interest because the lot coverage is not permeable. This is not going to cause any other more water running off the lot than it is the way it is right now. As long as the deck is not solid decking. That's going to be part of the variance. The spirit of the ordinance is observed. Looking at the lot, the size of the lot, and the size of the lots in that neighborhood, I think that this is acceptable. It's not a 5-acre lot that they're trying to fill the whole 5 acres. Granting the variance would do substantial justice because she wants to enjoy her children, hang out with the kids, the grandparents. I think it's a wonderful thing. It's nice to see 3 generations in a house.
just to allow reasonable use of
The
the property
property.
the way it was intended.
Exactly. What Len said. The values of the surrounding properties will not be diminished due to this. And I agree with that, and what else? That's downstairs, so that's it.
I would only suggest on the hardship question that there's really, the hardship is the section of town that it is in. The existing lots are all so tiny that there's virtually nothing that you can do that doesn't require a variance, which is in it
Correct.
imposes a hardship in that regard.
And I'd like to add the smaller lots are more affordable housing, which is exactly where families live, and they want to be able to enjoy their yard.
Okay, Denise has moved. Who's gonna
I
second?
second.
10 seconds. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. You've got your variance, folks, with the conditions that were stated regarding the size of the deck and the fact that the deck needs to be permeable and let the water through, so,
And it needs to be a 12 by 14?
correct.
So listen, on another note, we meet once a month. We have no alternates. We're looking for an alternate.
Only once a month.
One day a month.
That's what got Judy here.
That's all it is.
She's got young children, I get it.
Yeah.
When they grow up,
They're in extracurriculars, I'm in extracurriculars.
yeah, I get it, I get it. I do tend to pressure people, but we definitely,
All right, let's,
Yeah.
before we continue this discussion,
I'm still
if
working.
there's anything else anyone would like to bring up, we do have the Town and Country magazine
Yeah,
under
you all
the
said-
correspondence motion to
Sorry.
adjourn.
no, I want to make sure that we have that information by the next meeting. I won't be here, but it'll be sent to us prior to the next meeting.
Yeah, I'll request it, and because I already started pulling all mine.
Okay.
Information for what?
What's the next step?
For you?
I need a permit, right? So
See
I come in,
see
like,
this gentleman here.
tomorrow?
Yep,
I'll be here.
okay. It'll pre-
Yeah, they want that pool in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I came for the permit on July 9th because Empire said our installers are all caught up. The installer is like, I have them on speed dial. So I'm calling him the moment I have that permit in my hand. The electrician is ready to come out, the installer is ready to come out. So we're hoping to get it in and have a couple weeks in it
Good.
and then close it up.
Good
They
luck.
close it up.
Great.
Yeah, well, and they said, do it now, because then you don't know what the weather's gonna be like in the spring and it gets pushed
Right,
out.
right.
So at least it's
You'll
there.
be able
and
to open it up
You
early.
pull the cover when you're ready to pull the
Well,
cover.
enjoy it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
What is Jack doing?
He's pulling together all his notes of meetings that we've had because we want to have kind of a little mini workshop to talk about zoning policies.
All the staff reports for the past 2 years.
Because every year the planning board recommends zoning changes. And we thought it would be nice if we could give them some things to think
Yes,
about.
this year we want to make damn sure we're included in the meetings that they have on it, which they have not in the past.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that a member of this board, be present to represent our interests there, so.
I
And
ended
Denise
up
wants-
last
Denise
year
wants
at
the
the
homework.
last meeting, so it was a little bit too late.
Yeah, they called me in to ask my opinion on a couple of things like sheds and stuff like.
And you could be our person, there's no
Yeah.
question.
And
That's-
it helped out quite a bit as far as the trailers, the storage trailers,
Mhm.
to be removed out of all the residential areas, and I'm in the process of getting all those letters out. And there's probably gonna be 100 of them. The ones that are in Penardville, the ones that are storage sheds, it's just sticking on residential property. You know,
So can they, now that it's a zoning policy,
yep,
you have the right to tell them to move them?
yes.
Because they're not permanent, is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. They can, and it's in the code anyways, that they can't have one on there on a residential site, any kind of residential site, unless they're building a dwelling. If they're building a dwelling, it's good for 1 year only, and then it's gotta be taken off.
That's always been it, so all these people are in violation.
Yes, they've been in violation for years.
So this isn't really a new law?
No, it's just that people have never enforced it.
Waste trailers? Is that what you're
Storage
talking about?
trailers.
Storage trailers, those
Storage
containers.
trailers, oh,
Just storage
okay.
trailers.
Yeah,
Those corporate
sure.
containers.
Agricultural, I can't do anything about. Commercial, nothing.
Nowadays, they make tiny houses out of them.
Yes?
Yes,
Yeah, they do.
yes, I
I do.
have seen that on TV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, look at his.
All right, can we adjourn now,
Yes,
Denise?
please.
Motion to adjourn, please.
Almost adjourned.
Motion.
Second.
Ron?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, DTV.
Yeah.